Hello and welcome to our today's webinar. My name is Anna Ogunusi and I'm Easy Software Business Development Manager and I will be your host for today's webinar. Today we'll be talking about Easy Project Business Intelligence. Would you agree that sometimes you just need to, well, not sometimes, quite often, you actually need to analyze data, and often as we use a lot of different softwares within the business, it's not as easy to actually put them together. And when you work with Easy Project, you probably have most of your data already in Easy Project, but then when you need to analyze them, you probably have to get them out, and someone probably uses a spreadsheet or something else, or just count things on a calculator, etc., to prepare a PowerPoint for the management team and the executive. Well, this is actually the reason why we came up with Easy Project Business Intelligence. It's a tool for analyzing data and putting them into a presentable output that you can actually show to your executive managers or even shareholders, etc. So this plugin actually brings all key data, metrics, and KPIs to a single screen, meaning you get all the data you need on a single screen. It's very organized, it's very easy, and it's very simple and clear. So you don't have to deal with messy Excel sheets that no one really understands. Okay, so for us to start, let me actually open my trial that I set up a minute ago. So this is a demo version of Easy Project. As you probably know, we'll actually show you when you go to our website. When you are setting up the free trial, usually here, I'm already logged in, you have an option to choose from light demo version and full demo version. The difference is that in the light version, you do not have demo data. So that's good for someone who have their own data and they want to straight up start with their data and they don't need to see the cases, what it might look like once you put in your own data. So for us, for the webinars, I always use the full demo version, as you can see over here, and the reason being that it contains the demo data. So we can use that for the purpose of showing you how it'll work when it's packed with data, your own data. So as you can see here, I'm on the home page. So if you have a trailer, this is probably what it looks like. If you already have a paid version, does not matter. I will show you where you can find it. But for you, if you already have our client application and you wish to try the business intelligence, there's two ways. Either contact your account manager in Easy Software and ask them to actually, you can run 30 days trial in your current client application, or you can also set up your trial. So you can be having two applications, one with the trial, even with the demo data, and you can test it for yourself. So for us to access business intelligence, we will go to menu more, scroll down, and at the bottom we see business intelligence over here. Once we click it, we come to the dashboard for business intelligence. So why would you want to use business intelligence? This plugin, the business intelligence plugin, analyzes data from everything you have in your Easy project pretty much. So of course, then that means that you should be using things such as finance management and the resource management in order for the business intelligence to actually have some data to analyze. So it analyzes data from invoicing, project earning cost, personal and other costs, also CRM data. So for that purpose, you would have to have the CRM as well. And also it can be connected with your Google Ads account. And all these numbers, so basically what we want to see and what every business wants to see essentially is the number which is return on investment, ROI, which is the most important number for any business. I'm sure you are quite familiar with ROI, but for those who are not, return on investment basically shows us how profitable the company is. So of course you want to see nice and high numbers over there. The business intelligence can also show you trends. So not only it can show you real-time data, but it can also show you trends, which means that you will see comparison to the previous period. And we'll have a look at that in a moment. And all these trends and numbers are actually presented in graphs and charts, which are clickable, which means that actually once we click on the graphs and charts, which I will show you, you can explore the sub-items that made the number that you can see. So you will actually see where are those numbers coming from. You don't have to wonder, is it the right number or not? You will see from what data it was calculated. And you can also switch between different levels like company, country, product, users, and projects. So this way you can basically analyze a particular business segment. And let's get to that at the moment. So where do you find it? I just mentioned that you can switch between different levels. So these are the levels that are preset. Of course, for your you might need different kind of levels, so it can be always changed. Business intelligence need to be implemented into your business. It's not something that is easy to implement by yourself, like easy project. It's not that intuitive. However, you can still manage, but we always suggest to take up the implementation services with that one as well. So you can choose what levels you want to have here, and you can be switching between them. So as you can see, it comes from the like kind of highest level to the lowest. So we will start with the company level. So below the levels, you can see the filters that we have over here. If you are familiar with any kind of filtration in Easy Project, this will be easy for you as well. So it's very, very similar, like if you are filtering tasks or CRM cases, etc., it works on the same basis. So you choose the date that you want to filter. It can be last 90 days, or you have here also for the accounting purposes, for instance, the fiscal year, fiscal quarter, etc. Of course, all this is coming like it has to be in past. You can be, obviously there will be no data if you are to filter in the future, or this week, this month, etc. Which means that whatever date you choose here, the trends that we see over here, so these are trends, the smaller numbers, and the bigger numbers are the actual numbers. So the trends will be is the comparison to the previous period of the same length. So last 90 days give us this number, and compared to the previous 90 days, the trend is this. Then you can choose the product. This is especially good for businesses that operate that actually sell more than one product, which is, for instance, a case of Easy Software, because we have Easy Project, Easy Redmine, and we also have Calculate. So we have 3 main products. So you can choose the products. For the demonstration purposes, we have here product 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can filter it by that. So as you can see, if you actually don't choose the product, country, and currency, it will show you the overall for the last 90 days, and then you can like divide it and go a bit more specific. So we see the numbers over here, and let's choose a product. We'll go for product 1. Then also country. This is very useful if you operate in more than one countries. Again, that's the case for Easy Software because we operate all over the world. We sell our softwares all over the world. We actually deliver the software to more than 90 countries. So you can choose one country, and then of course currency, if you again work with different currencies. The currency is determined by what you have set up in your finance management, in your budget settings. So if you want to see other currencies, you have to change the settings. You have to add currency to your budget, and that can be done by when you have the paid version, paid subscription, then our support can enable any other currency for you as well. So let's see how these numbers will actually change if we select just one product. You always want to change the filters. You have to click on apply for the changes to apply. So you can see the numbers have changed slightly. So campaign costs are taken from Google AdWords. We will speak about how to connect your Google AdWords to your business intelligence a bit later. Project expenses are taken from the budget entries. If you are familiar with the finance management, personal cost is spend time logged by your team members. So when they work on specific tasks, they log how much time they spent on that task, and it's multiplied by internal rate, and the internal rate is again set up in your budget in the finance management. Then incomes, those are taken from budget entries as well, and then return on investment that takes all this into notice and comes up with the number. And then we have the trends, which compare it to the previous period. So obviously, if there is minus and the red arrow showing down, the current results are worse. So such as, or not worse, they are different, they are less. So such as the campaign cost is 56% lower than the last time, which is actually a good thing. But the incomes are 30% lower, which is not a good thing, than in the previous 90 days. So these are the actual real-time data. So if now someone would put a new data into your finance management, or someone would actually spend time, the data would change straight up here as well. So would the trends. So below the main trends and the numbers which we have here, we have something that is called profit calculation. This is actually our other product, which is Calculate. So it's a calculator embedded into the system, and it's here to simulate what would happen if one of these numbers actually changed. So you can create a simulation. You don't, because here you have real-time data, and if you wanted to know how much how the ROI would be impacted if you, for instance, spend more on AdWords, so then you can do that over here. So this is actually a real number that we are seeing over here. So this number is loaded from the real data, but we want to see how would the numbers be affected if we changed it. So you can see how the operations profit changed, the profitability changed, marketing ROI, and the total ROI. We can also try to change the personal cost. So now it's 23,000, and let's see how that will affect the total ROI. We'll put 50, and you can see that the total return on investment has lowered. So this is a tool that is here for you to create simulations. What would happen if you spend more here, or if you spend less there, or if you had more expenses, less income, etc. Which is very good when you are to invest, when you are creating your marketing budget. This can be very useful. And then below that, we have a part with the graphs and charts. So these are graphs. We have some preset here. You can always change them based on what you really want to see. But for instance, if you work in many markets, you actually want to know which market is the most profitable, meaning you spend little, but you make a lot of money there. So over here, because this ROI, the return on investment, is for the overall company. But you have to know which product and which country is the most profitable for you. So you can check the ones that don't work and focus on the ones that have the highest return on investment. So you can actually increase your overall return on investment and make more money, which is the essential goal of the business. So as you can see, the return on investment, the top countries over here are Germany, Czech. This is again based just on the demo data that is over there. Then you can also see, for instance, the incomes per country, so how much money actually comes from each market, and then per product. But because we are now viewing just one product, that's why it looks like this. Let's actually show you what it would look like if we do not select any product. Then we should see all four of them over there. And let's scroll back down. Oh, still keeping it in. let's go to the default settings. So right now we don't have any products selected, which means that it'll be showing us all 4 products. You can see which product brings the most income. Then you can also view your new customers. So once you get new customers, there is a map here and you would be able to see where they come from. So they will be like located on the map. Then you have a pie chart with expenses per product. So how much you actually spent to put this product out. And then this is something that comes from Google Ads account, which is AdWords spend expenses per country. So how much you are actually spending on your Google AdWords. I mentioned before that once you click on these graphs, you can actually explore the sub-items that made up the total number. So let's show that on this pie chart. So these are expenses per product. And when we click on either one of them, a new pop-up window will open. This is also really good that these things actually come up with a pop-up window, which means that the page is not reloading. You don't have to leave the business intelligence. You stay on one page. So what this means is that from the pie chart, we can see how that data was calculated. And again, it comes up with filter. So this filter is preset based on what we clicked, based on the graph that we clicked on, which is, we are still looking at the last 90 days, but now we are just looking at the product too. And here are some more data. So we can see the return on investment for this particular product, the incomes, campaign costs, again from Google AdWords. And then we can see it's very similar to data to what we saw before, but now for this particular product, which can be, and other things such as the discount here for planned fulfillment, how much we are supposed to spend there, incomes per project, and again, campaign cost, ROI per country, etc. And we can go in another sub-level. So again, whenever you click on any graph or pie chart, etc., it'll take you to another level, sub-level. So now we are looking, because we clicked on the budget, on the project budget. So we are looking at the project budget 5 in the previous last 90 days, and we can use other filters as well. And again, the same situation here. We have more and more graphs and charts. So you can basically keep clicking as long as you want. It'll always come up with a pop-up window like this. And then we can just simply close the pop-up windows, and we are back to our basic dashboard. So if you wanted to edit anything and customize this page, there are several ways to do it. You can either, for instance, with the trends here, anytime you go with your mouse over them, you can delete them with the bin icon, or you can edit them with the pen icon. You can do that with all the modules that you have on your dashboard, the bin and the pen. They are always here. Or if you wanted to add a new module, you can always click on Customize this page. And it works the same way like when you are customizing any other dashboard within Easy Project. You simply select the module from the list. It can be any graph, chart, any trend you need to see, and you can add it to the page. So you can see you have the charts here, anything, or the trends, anything you need can be added there. And you can as well be adding the tabs, because all these over here, the levels, are actually new tabs, and you can add more, or again, you can delete the current ones. So let's head back and let's explore another level. So far we have been working on the company level. Let's check what countries level look like. So we'll see again some numbers, some based on the real-time data that you have within your system, some trends, some graphs and charts. And we will see the same one for products, etc. Let's click on users. So this is where you can see how much what's your personal cost what's the personal cost within the company, how much spend time have people logged on the tasks, how many sales activities, for instance, there have been in the last 90 days. That should be definitely more than 12. That would not be a good sales person. How many tasks are assigned, what are the earnings, etc. You can also see the activity feed, which would be for when you have some users. It would show all the activities that have been logged by the user. So right now I chose the user Conning Consultant, so I have added a filter on this level, and we can see that Conning Consultant has six tasks assigned to her. She did not perform any sales activity in the last 90 days. Well, she's a consultant after all. She logged 24 hours as a spend time. Personal cost is 960 euros, and the project earnings, which is actually billable time. You know that when your employees are logging their spend time, they can take billable time, which means that it's time that is billed to the end customer by multiplied by external rate. And then you can see what she has been logging and on what tasks. So any changes she has made, any time she logged on task, etc. Then you can see how much time she has been spending and on what product she works. So we can see that actually according to the consultant, she works just with product 1. We can also find a list of her assigned tasks. We can see how much, if she has logged enough billable time, etc. So you can see that over here we are actually viewing this in the currency of euro. Let's see what it would look like based on US dollars. And you can see it has changed. So this is counting based on the exchange rates that are within the system. So you can always change. So depending where you are showing it to, if you have your executive team all over the world, someone is in the US, someone is in Germany, you can always switch between the currencies so they know exactly what the numbers are in their currency. So the other levels that we can go to in business intelligence is projects. So we can see more data on projects and also CRM. So you can see the won deals, for how much money was the forecast, how many leads, sales activities, and all these sales related data. So I mentioned at the beginning the Google Ads account, that it can be paired with your business intelligence, and I actually have been mentioning it quite a few times regarding the Google Ads spendings. And in order for you to be able to connect those two, there are several steps that you have to take. I strongly suggest that for you to find out more about these steps, you go to our documentation on our website. Sorry, not that one. Because there are a few steps that you have to take in your Google Ads Manager account and then that you have to perform in the business intelligence. But basically, let me just show you. First, let me show you where the settings for business intelligence are. And you will find them in the administration. So this is a part that is only available for people who are administrators within your Easy project. So you will click on the menu more, click on admin, and then you scroll down to plugins. And again, scroll almost to the bottom, and among risk plugins, I believe there is business intelligence. So we click on edit. And over here, this is the settings that you need to perform, which means that here, for instance, you choose how the ROI, return on investment, is actually counted, how it's what product fields is taking from the Google Ads, what country fields, etc. And the exact steps on how to do that, you'll find them under services, training center, documentation, and here we look up business intelligence. And at the bottom of the documentation, so these are the steps, step by step. So if you follow this, you can be sure that you will connect your Google Ads account to your business intelligence quite easily. Or you can always, when you're on the website, just type in business intelligence or business intelligence documentation. It'll bring you to the same page. So let's go back to our business intelligence. So as I mentioned, to sum up, business intelligence is a great tool for people who are reporting and also for people who are overseeing things. So very good for managers and executive, because here you can analyze your whole business in one system, in one software. That's already the great advantage of Easy Project, because you can run your tasks and your projects, your resource management, your finance management, your sales. You can do all that within Easy Project. And on top of all that, you can actually analyze all the data within the system. And as you can see, the data is actually presented really nicely on the dashboard. So no need for you to be creating any PowerPoints that are then hard to change when you have to do some last minute changes or anything. You can actually open your Easy Project and show it to your managers and to the executives of the company. And you can also create simulations or see the real-time data and the trends. Now, as you know, business intelligence is actually not part of any of the basic packages. So let's explore over here. You will have that if you are in the trial version, explore plans and pricing. You know that we offer 3 plans, which is Essentials, Business, and Platform. Each one contains different plugins, but none of them contains business intelligence, because it's such a big plugin and a big product that it has a separate pricing. So for that, we would click over here. And actually, you have to fill in, you would fill in a form here, and one of our account managers would get back to you. So first, you will choose which Easy Project plan you have. If you don't have one yet, have a look at the plans, on the subscription plans that I showed you, and click the one that you wish to have. Then you would choose the total number of users, a number of users which have access to BI, because it does not have to be the same number. Obviously, BI is more for managers and executives, so your regular team members do not have to have access there. Then also the data, you will choose the data you want to analyze within your business intelligence. What kind of segments, which means actually the levels that I was showing you want. The performance measures, such as return on investment, cash return on capital invested, earnings before interest and taxes, etc. And you just leave your contact details, and our account managers will get back to you. If you are already our current client and you have your account manager, contact them directly. And if you want to know, for instance, you are not quite sure what is what subscription you currently have, you can always go to your client zone or to your profile. And over here, you will see the solution type you have. I have the demo data at the moment, so it's asking me to fill in the account info. But whatever you have purchased, so for you, if you have Essentials, it would say Easy Project Essentials or Business or Platform. If you have any additional plugins that are not included in those, it would list it over here as well. You can also actually check your billing information over here, and there is a link to the pricing page as well. So, should you have any questions, I will leave it here for 5 minutes. There is a question and answer tool in the toolbar of this webinar. Feel free to write your questions over there, or you can always contact us on our contact details. So you can send us an email, give us a ring. You will find all the details on the contact page. You have all the phone numbers here, or the fastest and easiest is actually to get in touch with our support team in the chat window, and you will find the chat window both on the website and also in the application over here. Once you type in, one of our customer service representatives will get in touch with you as soon as they can, which is pretty much immediately, and they will help you with the settings or any other technical issues you might have. So thank you so much for your attention. I hope you enjoyed today's webinar. Other webinars that are coming up will be available on our website. To sign up for, we'll be also sending out emails. So I hope to see you at our future webinars. The next webinar will be focused on Gantt. And I wish you all the best with your projects.